Microsoft reports after the bell. As an investor, what are you focused on?
Yeah, so, look, Microsoft and Alphabet have both been caught up in the AI, mania this year. So both the stocks have done very well. So I think first and foremost, investors are going to be looking for with Microsoft, is the AI hype coming through business results? Are we seeing meaningful growth because of AI? And if not, when is this going to occur? So I think first and foremost, there's going to be a lot of focus on AI, as you mentioned. Second, cloud is important. Before the AI hype, before ChatGPT became part of the lexicon, it was Azure Cloud that was driving results at Microsoft. So we're going to continue to look for whether or not Azure is not only continuing to grow, but we think there's a good chance that we could see an inflection this quarter. One, because if you look at the last 4 quarters, Azure has been slowing sequentially, and I think we might see a bottom here in this quarter. Two, the more we move to AI workloads, the more we're going to see these hyperscalers like Microsoft Azure probably see an uptick in their growth because these AI workloads require more cloud computing. So Azure is going to be important. And then I think third for Microsoft that we're looking for is just commentary around the Activision Blizzard deal. Look, it's now closed. What's Microsoft going to do with it? Where are we?
All right, so you're looking at a wide range of things, Jason, in general. I do want to ask you about the valuation of Microsoft, trading at a 31 times forward PE. Where have you been at in recent months? Have you been adding to your position, trimming, and what would you need to see from this report with this valuation to add more to this position?
Yeah, so, we don't typically, trade around earnings reports. We haven't been adding to the position. In fact, we've trimmed the position into strength recently, but we still have a meaningful position in Microsoft. We've been owners for a decade, and we're not looking to change our core position meaningfully. We still think it's a great secular growth story. But as far as valuation is concerned, look, it is expensive. I mean, as you noticed, trading at 31 times forward earnings, which is historically a couple of turns above its average PE multiple. So I think in order for the stock to continue to move higher, we're going to have to see a reacceleration of cloud. We're going to have to see some really exciting news around or business results around AI. So, we're somewhat neutral over the near term on Microsoft, despite being long-term bullish.
Neutral for now. Microsoft shares up almost 1% in the pre-market. Jason, I want to pivot over to Alphabet, also getting set to report its results this afternoon. Revenues forecast to increase by 10%, while EPS is expected to grow by 37%. Key part of its business, YouTube advertising, estimated to grow by 10%, offering a read on consumer spending and confidence in the economy. And like Microsoft, Alphabet's growth driver is the global cloud computing market. It is the third largest player, though JP Morgan says this business could be under some pressure as companies reduce their spending and look to optimize current cloud capacity. Jason, you also own Alphabet. What are your expectations for this report?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good earnings report for Alphabet. Look, like you said, YouTube seems to be tracking quite well. So we think the growth in video spend is going up. They're benefiting from that. Core growth in search and digital advertising after struggling there for a few quarters last year looks like it's set to pick up as well. So we think we're going to have a pretty good core business result from search. And then, like you said, cloud is actually growing faster for Google, even though it's not yet as profitable versus Microsoft and Amazon. So we expect a pretty good quarter for Google. They have a little bit more of an open lane in terms of their annual comps. I mean, if you look at the quarter last year, it was mid-single digits. So like you said, they're going to be a little bit better than Microsoft in terms of the growth rate. Valuation's not as demanding, trading in a mid-20s multiple. So we expect good things from Google this quarter.
What do you think about AI when it comes to Alphabet? They released some AI products. They did not receive rave reviews by any means. A lot of people questioning their AI strategy. You think that Microsoft's going to see a bottom in a lot of its business due to AI enthusiasm. How does AI impact Alphabet?
In a lot of ways. Look, as you noted in the spring, Microsoft had really taken over, the excitement around AI because of ChatGPT. It looked like Google was perhaps, the company that had the most to lose. That didn't last very long because at their I/O conference, Alphabet's I/O conference in May, they really took back that narrative, demonstrating a broad suite of uses for AI, in particular Bard, with regards to Google search. So look, I think the reality is that Google's an AI first company. They're going to continue to be an AI first company. And there's a lot of ways that AI is going to impact their business in a positive way, with core search being one of them, of course. So there's a lot of updates to be had on AI. with Alphabet, and we're going to look at what they have to say in the quarter about how that's going.
Yeah, you mentioned with Microsoft, you were interested in commentary around the Activision Blizzard acquisition. When it comes
Right.
to Alphabet, expecting any commentary about the regulation when it comes to Apple and search? I mean, that's a big part of at least their brand image, to be able to be the default browser on every iPhone, which of course is a very popular phone here in the US.
Yep. Yeah, it's a great position to be in for sure, but it's a costly position as well, as we've learned. So it's going to be interesting to see what what comments they may have around that. My guess is, given the fact that we're kind of, in a ongoing trial situation, they're going to be somewhat limited in their commentary. But I wouldn't be surprised if analysts ask some management some thoughts around that. But I don't expect a whole lot to be offered up.